last video, I spoke about there were two things that I wanted us to do before we left the hexagon and the equilateral triangle. The hexagon and the equilateral triangle have quite a relationship with each other in that these equilateral triangles fit perfectly, 6 of them, inside a hexagon. So last week we looked at how to make snowflakes, which are based on the hexagon and the 6 radiating spokes that come out from the center. This week, I'd like to show you how to make a Star of David using paper and just folding it. So, before we begin, we'll need the shape to make that Star of David is going to be the equilateral triangle. Now we know 3 ways, at least, that you can make an equilateral triangle using a compass and a straight edge and a pencil. And that's to make a circle, make a point on the circle, put your metal point of your compass in there and mark out the radius on one side, the metal point here, mark out the radius on that side. Now you have the center point that you started with when you drew your circle. If you connect this point and this point up, you'll get this point. If you connect these 2 points up, you'll get this point. And these 2 points, when you connect them up with a straight edge, will give you this point. And then if you connect those points on the circumference of the circle, you get this hexagon. So that's one way. Another way, a simpler way, though you get 6 with this way you only get 1. But that's all we need for making this. In this way, here's your center, you make your circle, you put your dot on the circle, and you've opened your compass to this distance, put your metal point there, make an arc here, come over and make an arc there. Now, with this point and this point, you lay your ruler on. You don't draw a line, but you follow your ruler along until you can create that point on the circumference. And with this point and this point, you lay your ruler on, follow it across to the circumference and put a point. Now you can connect those and get a bigger equilateral triangle. And I showed you one other way. That was to start with a line, not with a circle, but with a line. And then putting a dot at each end of the line, put your metal point in here, your compass point here, bring your compass point around, then put your metal point in here and your compass point here and bring that around. And where they intersected, that's the point that you'll connect your endpoints to, and you get an equilateral triangle. So those are 3 ways to do it. Now, to do it with origami, which we're going to do, you need a piece of regular paper. It will work just perfectly. This rectangle, if we take it and fold it in half and crease it down, and then take our scissors and cut it, we'll get a long rectangular strip, actually no longer than that, but thinner than that. Get this rectangular strip, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold one side down to the other, line them up, the corners in the corners, length of it along the length of the other. And when we've got that, we're going to do a crease on, let's say maybe half of it. So I'm going to hold that down and crease to the side. Okay? Next, I'll open it up. I'm going to take and bring this corner point to that line and create a line coming down. Let's see if I can show you what I mean. I'm going to bring this point to the line, but I'm going to move it along the line, sort of like what we did when we were working on getting the square. I'm going to bring it along this side, call it this line, and I'm going to try to get it where I can push it down and just get a point. So it's lined up there. I'm going to hold it there and work away. All right. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over along this short line, but bringing this long side and placing it against that. So I'm going to fold it over like this, place it down, get my corners sharp. Crease that, pick it up, do the same thing going this way now. It'll pretty naturally fall into place. And lastly, bring it over and bring that along that line. And when I open it up, I'll have some equilateral triangles. I can make 3 out of this. I wouldn't need that or this, but 1, 2, 3. So there's a way to create an equilateral triangle just by folding a piece of rectangular paper. There's a second way that I want to show you. This will make 3 with a compass and 2 with paper. So we have 5 ways of getting an equilateral triangle. In this one, it's much the same, except I'm not going to cut it in a lengthwise. I'm just going to fold it then I'm going to take the top layer and fold it down to the bottom, and I don't need to crease it the whole way, just part way. You see some of the similarity to the previous method. Fold this back up. Then I'm going to take these 2 loose ends. I don't want this joined in. I want these 2 loose corners, and I'm going to bring them over to this line and do the same thing. I'm going to help this to become a sharp point. I'm going to get that out on that line, roll it a little further, teeny bit further, and there. Good. Now, I'm going to do something a little differently. Last time we folded it over that way. I'm going to fold it in the opposite direction. So I'm going to turn it over. It's going to fold along this line. So I'm going to fold it over until I can get it to go along that side. And when I do, and I've got my corner there, then I squish things down. And now, instead of folding it that way, I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to fold the whole side over. Right there. It goes pretty easily. And then, as you could guess, I'm going to flip it again and fold this side that way. It will extend beyond the length of the rectangle. Now, when I open it up, I'm going to have the 3 triangles on that side and the 3 on this side. But as you can see in the center, there's a hexagon. I was going to say it would be neat to have all the sides folded back in, really see the hexagon standing out. But I'll put my fingers here. I've decided that I'm going to stop for today with this, let you get some equilateral triangles ready, and in the next video I'll show you how to fold the equilateral triangles to make the Star of David. Well, thanks for joining me. See you soon.